Hey guys, what's up? It's me, PeakBar25 here, and today I am bringing you part 9 of my top 100 coaster countdown bonanza. Now, just a little bit beforehand, this point we're gonna have some real interesting coasters. If you've seen last year's video, 2015 in reflection, the 2015 series part 2, I believe, a lot of things have changed. Coasters from the bottom half of that list have fallen down to here. That's just a little thing. Also, this will probably be my last video of December, because at this point on, I might make the confession video, but I won't be able to record a formal video until January, because holidays are incredibly busy. Also, it's my birthday tomorrow, so wish me happy birthday if you really want to. I'll be turning 16, which that is great. I love it. Alright, let's get started. Number 30 is Firehawk at Kings Island. Now, this was the second Dutchman I rode, and I found this one just slightly more enjoyable than Batwing, for whatever reason. Maybe I was more aware of the coaster community, maybe I rode with a family member, which is my older cousin, who's turning 17 in March, and maybe because it didn't take 5 or more minutes to dispatch. Yes, Six Flags America, we know your efficiency sucks. Whatever the reason, I think Firehawk, like I said before, has the slight edge over Batwing. I also just like Kings Island more than Six Flags America. Well, obviously. And the whole ride experience is just virtually the same between the two. I mean, there are a couple problems with this ride. One, when you're going up a lift hill on a certain day, or certain days, the sun's going to be right in your eyes. Two, dispatching takes a pretty long time, because there's a lot of restraint stuff to do. And 3, the restraints are almost impossible to get out of on your own power. You need to be He-Man or just have a diligent knuckle in order to get them out. Yeah, it's all that fun stuff. But otherwise, the ride, I love Dutchmen. And I think they're better than Superman Ultimate Flight clones. Obviously, Tatsu, Manta, and like the dinosaur thing at Universal Studios Japan are better than the Dutchmen. But I like Dutchman more than Superman Ultimate Flight. So yeah, come at me. Number 29 is the first place finisher for Six Flags St. Louis, Mr. Freeze Reverse Blast. Now, this coaster ranked 15 on last year, if I recall correctly. It's for multiple reasons. I realized over the winter that the experience was not as good as I remember. I overhyped it off my first impression. I also had ridden some really good coasters over the summer, and a lot of them have been on the list. I mean, I got some more credits to Cedar Point, polished off Cedar Point's credits. I went to Six Flags New England, Carowinds, which has like 3 credits that are already going to be above this thing. Maybe 4. No, it's 3. You already seen everything else. And then you have Busch Gardens Tampa, which has, I think, 3 entries over this thing. Maybe 4. No, 3. I think 3. 4. One of the 2. So yeah, that is why things fall. I mean, it's still a lot of fun. This ride is just pure fun. Backwards launch, inverted top hat, bank turns, vertical spike, do the whole thing again forwards. Just a generally pretty well themed station, not queue, but just station. I mean, I came off of this ride with an adrenaline rush and a smile on my face. I like this ride because it's fun, not necessarily because it's good. And like I said, first place finisher for Six Flags St. Louis. Number 28 is Daredevil Dive. Very similar to the previous entry, this one has fallen from top 15 to top 30. Although this coaster used to occupy either the 10th or 11th spot. Maybe the 12th. My first impressions upon exiting over Georgia was that this is better than Goliath. I realized I was wrong. And you'll see plenty of Goliath in part 10. Same reasons do apply for why this one fell from grace as well. This ride is high quality. I love this ride at Over Georgia. Much like Mr. Freeze, it's just fun. A lot of fun. And I came off of this loving every moment of it. This was one of the few rides I actually have a soft spot for, since, I love it. It's just fun. Very fun layout, lap bars only, inverting lap bar coaster, vertical lift, beyond vertical drop, pretty close to the entrance of the park. I mean, it's just great. The only vertical lift I've been on at the time was Fahrenheit. It used to beat Fahrenheit, now it doesn't. Fahrenheit is clearly better than this thing. But still, I love this thing. This thing is really fun. Daredevil Dive, it gives two thumbs up of approval for me. This ride is just fun. It's not necessarily quality, but just like Mr. Freeze, it's a lot of fun. Number 27 is Gatekeeper. Continuing the three-coaster trend of Falls from Grace, we have Gatekeeper. This ride I ranked either 13th or 14th last year, and falling to position 27. No longer my favorite wing coaster as well, because I've only ridden 2. For whatever reason, this ride actually makes me nauseous. It has an unpleasant vibe for some reason when I ride it. I don't know why. I get slightly nauseous and uncomfortable while riding and shortly after the ride. And I have no justification for why it happens as well. It just does. I still love the ride. It's still great. And it's higher quality than the previous entries, hence why it's here. I just don't have as much fun as I did in 2013 when I rode this thing. I mean, back then it was worth the hour and a half, 2-hour wait. I mean, I'll still ride Gatekeeper every time I go to Cedar Point, but I just don't enjoy it as much as I used to. We'll see another one of those from the same park on this countdown list part. Number 26 is Xlite. Taking a break from Falls of Grace, we have a rising favorite right at my home park, right in my backyard. Xlite was never really a lot for me in past years, but I really have studied other wing coasters and realized its potential. We have a great layout, and dare I say it, it's actually one of the upper class wing coasters. Nothing beats Thunderbird, though. Thunderbird is the best wing coaster. I really wish I could get on that one day. It's not that far from me. Why have I procrastinated so long? The great wing over drop and the final inline twist are the highlights of the ride. They fit so well in the layout, and the nice compact, short layout, and they spice it up so much. Unlike Gatekeeper, where a lot of the elements are just repetitive. They aren't as good as the quality elements on Xlite. I mean, the inline twist is absolutely fantastic. The main problems here are its length and the restraint problem. Yes, the restraints do tighten up on your chest, which is something I did not mention in the review, so I never actually found it that bad. But I've had a few really bad moments. And if you're stacked for an excessively long time at Great America on this thing, which would happen more than you like to think, it gets really uncomfortable. And I don't do well in a very trapped feeling. If I'm trapped, I get really panicky, and it's just like, okay, what can I do? I'll jiggle it a bit. I'll just loosen my seatbelt, just flail my arms around, talk to somebody. My brother that's sitting next to me probably on the outside seat because he's greedy. All that fun stuff, and just sometimes I'm stacked for upward of 2 minutes on this thing because this thing, short ride, not very short efficiency. But that's another problem. On the ride itself, it's great. It's my third favorite coaster at Great America, and used to be, I think, my fourth. Used to be beaten out by Batman the Ride, but now you see where that's gone. This ride is fantastic, though. I love this thing, and this is actually one of the few rides this is the only ride, actually, that I was there before it opened to the public. I was there for Media Day, and I was there for Season Pass Holder Exclusive Day, which I waited in an hour line to get my first ride, and it was worth it. It's a great ride, and one of the best quality rides at my home park. I ride this thing almost every time I'm there. I love it. Superman Krypton coaster is coming in at number 25, which this ride doesn't necessarily have a connection, but the number does, because I'm peeking about a 25. I mean, numbers. It's almost a blur in my memory at this point, this ride. And I really need to get back to San Antonio. Batman the Ride, getting my Poltergeist credit, renewing all these credits before, like this thing, Iron Rattler. I'm overdue a ride for Iron Rattler. This ride, from what I remember, is great and is significantly moved up from not because of remembering the ride experience, but because of statistical and observational studies. Studies triggered memories and moved up this ride on the rankings. This ride probably would have been about the same place as Rougarou if I had not done a bit of thinking. So I thought all four of those coasters were the same when I was making the list, but no, this one is above and beyond. This thing is a great ride. And I personally believe that this is the best floorless coaster in existence, probably in a close tie with, say, Bizarro and Kraken. Not going off of any experiences, though. Kraken's probably its biggest competitor. I love the all fantastic layout. And the interaction with the quarry wall. I love it. And this is my favorite float coaster, like I said. This ride may only go up with a revisit. It will only go up in the rankings if I go and re-ride it. I can see very little potential that this ride will disappoint me. Even if it's more of a Kumba ride, I'll still probably put it below Kumba, which is less than a 10-spot fall. Maybe. I believe it's about 10-spot fall. I think Kumba's 33, 34. Oh, number 24 is Flight of Fear from Kings Island. Now, this ride also ranked lower upon first impression, but the more I thought about this ride, the more I realized this was probably the most fun ride I've been on. Darkness, strobe lights, alien theming, all this fantastic things. I mean, then the whole shadowy bars of steel creating phantasms that's gonna think you're gonna cut your head off. Disco lights, compact layout, strobe lights, darkness, all that fun stuff. I love that. I love all of that. And it's a small part. It's just of why this coaster is so good to me. It's my fourth favorite coaster at Kings Island, and it's so well deserved. I mean, this coaster reminded me so much of an invalid credit, Poltergeist. And the fact that I would now conquer my fear and ride it again just makes me just like this thing more, which I need to get back to San Antonio. So, yeah, Flight of Fear, great ride. I mean, not necessarily high quality, but just really, really fun. I love this thing. This thing is just fun. Just fun in all capitals. Just, I want to go back. I can ride this and just wahoo for hours or something. Is wahoo a verb? Oh, God. Okay, let's just move on past that. Please don't let that be a meme. Number 23 is Fahrenheit. And I mentioned this thing in entry 28, Daredevil Dive. This ride would have ranked lower if it had not received its thin strap harnesses this year, the thin shoulder harnesses. It received it this year along with Storm Runner, and this would drastically improve the ride. Because I did notice that in the corkscrew, in both corkscrews, there is a bit of head and neck jostling, but that would pretty much be non-existent. And this ride would be a lot better than what it currently was, or what it was. In this ride, I rode 3-4 times throughout 2 days at Hershey Park. Spent most of my time at Storm Runner and getting the rest of the credits. Also, the ride is excellent. It was my first vertical lift, and I loved it. I love the Norwegian loop. It's a one-of-a-kind element, and it's, I think, the only one in the States. I think you have to travel out to the Nordic countries to go out and get some more Norwegian loops. And now this ride also gets the title for best Cobra roll I've ever been in. Look at the Cobra roll on the left image. That just looks like it's a very well-shaped and well-volleyed Cobra roll. I mean, you kind of go upside down. It's a bigger divot. It's a bigger divot in the Cobra roll, making it more drastically and smoothly shaped. I mean, some Cobra rolls, you just snap, you go up, snap, and then snap back without any dip or volley. This one, you definitely feel it. And it's one of the few Cobra rolls I've been on a sit-down coaster. That and probably like Kumba and Superman Krypton coaster. Things like that. I mean, this thing was great. And this is my third favorite ride at Hershey Park. It could possibly overtake Sky Rush if I go back and ride it with the thin straps. This ride, I love it. I love Fahrenheit. And I would probably ride this many times in a day. It is quite loopy. I would love to remember the Norwegian loop by heart because it's a great element. I mean, this was all fantastic. This ride is just fantastic. I have just nothing really else to say. We're going to move on to number 22, which is Superman Ride of Steel at Six Flags America. This is the first place finisher for Six Flags America, as you'd probably expect. So 2 parks have already been polished off with the first place finishers. This is a bizarre hypercoaster, and it barely reaches the requirements to be one. It has a more helix-based layout and some really bizarre straight sections, which could have easily been replaced with an airtime hill. There's nothing wrong with another airtime hill, people. Just, please. It's better for the ride. Don't make it straight section, because that's just, no. This ride is also another foggy memory. One of the more clear ones from Six Flags America, but still foggy because my last ride was in July of 2014. I remember speed, smoothness, and some moments of ejector airtime. The ejector airtime might have been a bit painful due to the bulkier lap bars, I believe. Or if it might have Millennium Force Y bars. or T-bars. And the dispatches were god-awful as well. It's a below-average hyper, but a fun one nonetheless. And it's really the closest thing that Maryland people have got. I mean, Maryland's near, like, Virginia, so you could probably get to, like, maybe Apollo's Chariot or Intimidator 305. And right below it's, like, North Carolina. Then you can go a few states up, probably reach, like, Skyrush, or probably reach, like, Nitro. Maybe it isn't the furthest. Maybe they don't have another good hypercoaster far away. I mean, I know my nearest hypercoaster, besides Raging Bull, like, hypercoaster among this layout, is Magnum XL 200. The nearest good one is Diamondback. So, yeah. It's a bit shoddy. And there we go. Number 21, we have another fall from grace, which is Raptor. This ride just was magical when I was younger. I think it might have actually been my first inverted coaster. And it was my favorite ride until I rode Raging Bull the same year. It was forceful, smooth, and my second favorite ride until I rode Millennium Force in 2013. Because from 2010 to 2013, I did not really ride that many other coaster credits. The other new credits I got were maybe additions to Six Flags Great America, and I went to Mount Olympus and rode Cyclops and Hades, the original Hades. I loved this ride for years as a kid, but then the love kind of died on my 2016 re-ride. Was it because I rode other excellent inverts, like particularly riding Banshee in the previous year? And also expecting to ride better inverts like Montu and Afterburn? And it also, I believe it did me a bit of injustice, because it was a bit rougher and snappier than usual. I mean, it wasn't as smooth as it used to be, and the effect wasn't as magical. I love the intensity of this ride. This is a forceful ride. And it's a loud one as well. You can hear it from the other end in the midway when it's going. I just love the sound it makes, that B&M roar. This ride still is below par to 3 other inverts I've ridden. And now that I ride more of the same species of ride, it just feels like this ride has less of a magical impact on me. I don't like it as much as I did before. I still think it's a great ride, and I definitely would ride it every time at Cedar Point. It's my fifth favorite ride at Cedar Point, I believe. Number 4, you'll see, and then of course you have the obvious top 3. So yeah, that will wrap up part 9 of my top 100 coaster countdown. Bonanza. I hope you guys have enjoyed your day. Good luck on finals week. I know my finals are starting today and going through Friday. It's my birthday tomorrow, so send me some birthday wishes in the comments, and we can spark up a coaster bait if you want to. All that fun stuff. So go. I hope you guys have a happy holidays. If you enjoyed the video, please feel free to be active in whatever you feel like, comment, subscribe, whatever you need to. I recently hit 100 subscribers, and I'm still thinking of something I could possibly do for that. Because I've hit triple digits. That's, yes, great. So, yeah, hope you guys have a happy holidays, and as always, peace.